The president of Kazakhstan, Tokayev, has declared a 2-week state of emergency in the Central Asian nation's biggest city, Almaty, and the western Mangistau province, where protests turned violent. The move includes an 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew, movement restrictions, and a ban on mass gatherings. The oil-rich country's government announced late on Tuesday it was restoring some price caps on liquefied petroleum gas after the rare protest reached Almaty following a sharp rise in the price of fuel at the start of the year. Police in Almaty used tear gas and stun grenades to stop hundreds of protesters from storming the mayor's office. For more on that, joining us now is Kaswar Klasra. He's a Pakistan-based journalist who's been covering the situation in Kazakhstan extensively. Most communication in Kazakhstan is currently down. What is the situation in Kazakhstan right now? We're hearing reports of government buildings being taken.
Well, I can tell you at the moment is, the protesters are calling the shot across, the Kazakhstan. Initially, the protest which broke out, on 2nd of January this year, after the current regime, raised the prices of, the petroleum products, and it was started from a small town. But as of now, within 3-4 days, it is spread across all the country, including Almaty, the major countries. Regarding your question, I can tell you at the moment is the protesters are calling the shot. The clashes had erupted between the law enforcement agencies and the protesters. 150 people have been injured from the both sides, and emergency has been imposed. And I am afraid that it is just the start of everything there in Kazakhstan, because the recent protests which have brokered has a very little connection with the increase of petroleum products, because I must tell you is that the president, the former president Nazarbayev is at the center of the government there in Kazakhstan, and the president Mr. Kassym is just a crony, and they have been gripping this oil-rich Muslim country for the 3 decades, and the people are just worried, and the people are just angry at them. Let me tell you that even in the town which the incumbent president of Kazakhstan hails on, the angry protesters have dismantled the monument of current president of Kazakhstan. So you can guess how angry the people is.
It all happened so quickly and deteriorated so quickly over the last few days. Can you emphasize or explain to us again, what was the oil price increase that made people so furious? How bad was it?
But that's a good question. You can imagine that an oil-producing country, which have been producing, and which is the main source of income for this country, and the government has to increase the oil prices over there. So it indicates that the grip of the current regime and the revenue generation is at the lowest ebb. Actually, what the point I want to raise is these protests are not about the increase in the gas and petroleum products. Actually, the people have been angry about the current regime, and they were just waiting for the right moment to take to the streets, road, and to overcome this regime as well. Actually, this is the anger which the people of this area, this oil-rich country, have been waiting for a long time. time. So they are very little about the increase of petroleum products, but actually they were fed up of these ruling elite for a long time. The increase in petroleum products has just provided them a chance to come out to the road and stay to the protest against the regime. Actually, the human rights violations and the unemployment and other things, these was at the center of protest, and the protesters, the common public, have been waiting for the right time, which they have just got it. And
they felt that this is the right time. I do want to ask you, the president sacked the government today. What do you think is next in this uprising?
Well, I would rate this uprising to the Middle East. If you remember, in Tunis and other, the Middle Eastern countries, we have seen uprising, and I would rate this uprising to the Kazakhstan, the current uprising. Let me tell you that 20, the chartered plane have flown last night out of Almaty, taking the families members of the president, current president, Mr. Kassym, and other, the ruling elite as well. So this is just the beginning. The people are very angry. Unemployment is over there in a country which is producing oil and other things. So the people are just concerned about the human rights violation, about the democratic values. So I think it's just a beginning, and this uprising will, increase with the passage of time. And as you have rightly pointed out, the current regime has announced emergency rules. But I think the people are very angry, and it will go beyond the boundaries as well. And within a passage of a few weeks, you will yourself observe that this country will be in a chaos